all women, to some degree, are sex workers. You shouldn't have an opinion on Bonnie. Your opinion on Bonnie should be, she is the end result of the society we have built and promoted. She is acting how society has told her to act to get as far ahead as possible. Feminism is a male movement. You think if women march around in the street outside, anybody gives a fuck? The only reason they get away with it is because men stand around them with guns. What I'm saying is that black culture in America, the music, the culture, all it is sexualizing women and whores. You can't blame the thief for stealing. You gotta blame the guy who didn't lock his gold up. If these women get away with this scam and men wanna fall for it, then it's up to them. My only thing for Bonnie, and I'm actually gonna ask you a question. I really hope, Bonnie, that you stay true to the end. I hope you're real G about this. I don't want you to start busting out a cross and talking about God in about 5 years from now. That's it. So as a man now, you talk about the different forks and spoons and stuff. Let's talk about this. If I have a woman who I take care of and she's wifey and whatever, she's wifey in a certain scenario, that's fine. But if I'm gonna put 25 girls on a boat, don't I want girls who are honest, who are open, who know why they're there? They're there because I'm rich and I have them there because they're hot and we all know why everyone's there. I'm less likely to get trouble with those kind of women than the women who go, oh, I'm so innocent, I'm so sweet. Those
Andrew
rape
took
victims.
advantage of me. Andrew took me on a boat and this and this happened. Whereas like, you take me on a boat, guaranteed no, your lawyers aren't getting involved. I'll say, if anything, I put it on you. That's more realistic.
What advice?
Bonnie is a realistic, bona fide freak. I get Andrew Tate's perspective if he have any women around him, he want them to be honest and true so he don't have to be in the situation that he's in right now, which is an allegation case. So I understand where he's coming from. But Bonnie is the thought of all thoughts, though.
What would you give to Bonnie now she's starting to get cancelled like you've been?
Well, I'm sure she's smart enough to understand have to find a way to monetize and become independent outside of the matrix like I did. You have to find some clever ways to do it, and it's very doable. I think Bonnie's going to continue to get paid using what she knows how to do to become financially successful, which is a fantastic thing to do. Why not? No point doing it for free. I think Bonnie's smart enough to work it all out. And I don't think she gives shit what they say negative about her because there's no such thing as bad press. I mean, I'm probably the most negatively spoke about guy on the planet.
Does that bother you?
I don't give a And I just really, my only thing for Bonnie, and I'm actually going to ask you a question. I really hope, Bonnie, that you stay true to the end. I hope you're real G about this. I don't want you to start busting out a cross and talking about God in about 5 years from now.
I mean, I might insert it inside of me, but there's no way you're going to see me at church unless it's for a gangbang.
No, I don't want any of that. I'm reformed bull. I don't want any of that crap and saying my past doesn't matter because I've been born again. Please don't do that. I want you
keep that same energy to the end, Bonnie, because a lot of y'all get traumatized with all the penises that y'all have had inside y'all and all the experiences and all these moments in time, and then y'all want to reform it. No, keep the same energy to the end because we got to do the same.
Until the end in the old people's home. I want, petting zoo. 85-year-old petting zoo. I want you to do it to the end. Stay real about your choices.
100%.
That's real.
Well, then she's the real G. Then she made her decision. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the code. Street life. It is what it is. Like me, I could have fucking pussied out by now when they put me in jail. I could have started saying, yeah, women should vote. No, they shouldn't. So you put me in jail. That I stick to what I mean. She's going to stick to what she means and what she says and what she wants to do. She's not going to start busting out and trying to use religion as a shield. Because that's what most of these OnlyFans girls do.
Yeah.
And there's always some white boy, especially white boys.
They've got no motivation in life. They don't know what to do. They're like, okay, what can I do now? Oh, okay, my OF's dropping or my Fancy account's dropping. I know, let's just say I found God. They've got no motivation or drive in life. They have to be given a purpose. You have to be given a reason to live. It's either, have a couple
Well, they don't want to
kids.
take responsibility for what they did.
Yeah.
What they want to do is they want to erase their past. So they want to get, these OnlyFans girls, they say, oh, I'm traditional now and God, and they wave a cross around. And then some little white boy who goes to church all the time, who's never had in his life, is like, she's reformed. Bro.
He don't even know.
But the women get away with it. So as long as they get away with it, you can't blame the thief for stealing. You got to blame the guy who didn't lock his gold up, truthfully. If these women get away with this scam and men want to fall for it, then it's up to them.
So what Bonnie's doing is a scam,
No, I just don't want Bonnie to ever, change up the game. Stick to what you know.
One rule for one and one rule for another. And that's what's annoying.
No, but I find this interesting because most people are too fucking stupid to understand these false dichotomies we live under. And let's take Diddy, for example, right? I'm not defending Diddy.
Yeah.
What he did was probably wrong. I don't know. I haven't followed the case. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know what the fuck Diddy did. The guy, he was anti-Trump. He hated me. Me and Diddy don't even like each other. The only time we interacted on Twitter was beef. So I'm not defending the guy. What I'm saying is that black culture in America, the music, the culture, all it is sexualizing women and whores, getting as much money as possible, being a gangster, waving guns around, loads of women. That's the culture.
That sounds like you.
Careful. So,
I mean, well, he is half black. His dad, I want to say, is half black, so he's a part of it also.
if that's the culture that the black society is going to promote, if that's what the music is going to push, if that's what's seen as the end goal of success in the black community, becoming a rapper, becoming famous, having a bunch of whores, being feared, having guns, being a gangster, being a criminal, if all of this is what they're pushing and they're saying this is the end goal of success, and then someone gets there and does it, and then we say, he was threatening women and he was waving a gun around and he was fucking loads of women. So what I'm saying is,
I get what he's saying.
It's very hypocritical, this society we live in now, where we push people in a certain direction, and then as soon as they end up exactly where they're headed, we have a go at them for it and pretend they shouldn't be there. It is absolutely false to declare that women are not being sexualized. Women are told to be promiscuous now. Women are told to be sexual now. So when a woman ends up promiscuous and sexually liberated, who are we to sit and say, I can't believe this has happened? It's completely asinine. It's a double standard. It's a false dichotomy. And it's amazing to me that we live in this world. If you're going to have black rap music push people to be in big mansions with a bunch of whores them, taking drugs and waving guns around, don't be surprised when black people do it. And don't be surprised when women end up as whores when we're telling women to be whores. If you want women to do something else, then tell them to do something else.
The culture definitely promotes bad behavior. If we keep living and propagating a society that just reinforces the music, just sexual exclusivity with any and everybody, if we constantly keep promoting that culture, we ain't gonna never have families. Families are gonna constantly be diminished. They're gonna start breaking apart. We already live in a very separatist society. Families don't stick together. Kids already acting like they damn 40 years old. It's a problem. And if women don't get a hold of the things that they do, it's gonna only get worse. I hate to say it, women usually raise the next generation of kids to come up. So if you have women that are obeying the system, first and foremost, men are gonna follow that, and then they're gonna do whatever they gotta do to get the woman, and then now you're gonna have a broken society. I hate to say it, man, it definitely starts out with women as well.
I don't know why we're surprised by it. The thing that's unsettling in all of this is still the role of the average man, who's expected to get far less in terms of loyalty and quality and standard from a woman than he's ever had, and pay a far higher price.
Facts.
Our grandfathers got a woman. He didn't have to be rich. He didn't have to even be famous. He didn't have to be successful. He just had to be a man and do the most basic things. And she loved him and he loved her, and they had a happy relationship. Our grandfathers got a woman, all. Now, to get a woman who cares about you, you need to be one of the most famous, rich, well-known, drive a Lambo, this, X, Y, Z. The average man's fucking wrecked.
Just to get an average woman, you gotta have the most, because the average woman now, she doesn't look at the average guy as even a qualifiable candidate. She needs somebody 5 times better than her. The average guy, she looking at him like you a scrub. When, ma'am, you ain't got nothing. She's beneath him, but still looks at him being beneath her, which is crazy nowadays we live in.
Yeah.
And the role of men in all of this is completely forgotten because nobody gives a shit about men.
No.
We're hypersexualizing women, and let's be honest, Bonnie is smart enough to monetize her own content. But most women who are promiscuous are not smart enough to monetize.
But isn't Bonnie part of the problem then?
Bonnie is a symptom of society. I don't want to say of the disease of society.
Most
I
women,
could, but she's a symptom. She's the end result of the society we have built, which is why it's hypocritical.
Which you think is degrading.
I'm living the best I can in the world that's already been built. I don't give a about changing the world. The
She's
world
not here
has
to change
given
it.
me.
Well, Bonnie, just like all the other girls who are hoeing out there, she just monetizing off of it. So to sit here and say that she's a part of she is a part of the problem, but she's a manifestation of the problem in a stronger form, which is her making money off of. When you got girls out here just getting busted down for free, getting in and out of situations. So a lot of girls are doing the same thing Bonnie doing it on an extremer level, but it's still the same thing.
The opportunity to do what I do and monetize from it, I'm going to do that.
You said you thought you were a positive role model.
No, but Rob.
Well, I am positive because you think of the day I f***ed 1,000 men. If you was a rapist, would you go and find someone else? No, I've shared my location. Come and f*** me. Like, I'm reducing rape rates.
you're not
because when
doing
you have
that,
sex
no.
workers that are available and guys want to have sex, they want to
Okay.
breathe, they want to fuck. And if they can't find a girlfriend or they can't afford to pay for one, because prostitutes nowadays can be expensive, I'm saying, hey, I'm doing it for free. Just come fuck me. Take it out on me because I consent to that. So I'm not promoting, people say I promote rape culture and stuff. I'm not.
Okay, she's not reducing rape culture by saying that she's just setting up events to guys to come bust it down on her. You're not going to be able to satisfy that many men that often to say that you're reducing rape culture. Hearing that is crazy as hell.
I'm saying, hey, I enjoy it. I get wet. I get turned on. I wank over my videos. Come and fuck me. Save yourself paying a lawyer. Like, I'm actually doing people work. Bet that day if you was a rapist, not that I'm obviously promoting it, but it's like, okay, well, actually, I'll just go and Bonnie. She's there. It's easy work. She's already shared a location.
What she just said to you, does that shock you?
That's crazy.
None of this shocked me.
No, but do you find it, would you disagree with it? What she's doing? Would you, when you hear what she's talking about, do you sit and think you shouldn't be doing that?
She's definitely not a martyr.
Because I'm trying to lead you down a trap here.
Of course you are. You always can do.
No,
Right.
okay. Well,
No, let me answer then.
sure.
I'm quite neutral on it
Okay.
because I think that I imagine for some men it is useful,
Yeah.
the service you provide. I imagine other men get probably a bit fucked up by it, and it.
Do you believe Bonnie has the right to make the choices she's making?
I believe you do, she does, I do, we all do, as long as it's legal.
Then it's impossible to have any kind of problem with it, surely.
I think you can have an opinion on it.
You
but
just tried to cul-de-sac me there, didn't you, Andrew?
No, the point I'm making is the same people who are going to sit and say what Bonnie's doing is wrong and she shouldn't be allowed to do it are also the same people who say women should be allowed to vote. It's one or the other. Either women do not have the ability to make their own decisions or they do.
see, if I cared enough about what was going off or think I could change it by voting,
But you
because
can't.
the world is fucked. So yeah, I don't bother looking in the news or anything like that.
Of course.
And also, why
But you're
should I look at the
confusing me
news?
because you say you don't give a fuck about anything on the world and it's just about you, but then you're trying to promote that you're a great
I
role
care
model
about
for
men's
men.
mental
And
health, and I care about draining
No,
their
you-
balls and having fun and having orgasms.
Stop
the
it.
only time I talk about the rape rates is when women are crying, saying I'm increasing it. So if you want to,
I can't understand that you have a bona fide freak actually sitting here saying that she is helping the world by reducing ball sacks. This is crazy. Like, there's no possible way you can sit right here and act like you a martyr now. Like I said, men are going to do what they're going to do regardless. Men are going to still want to have sex with women. Men are probably going to watch porn or whatnot. But to sit here and try to act like she's just all of a sudden a better person by trying to help that situation, no, because it's going to give a lot of guys a lot of false sense of reality when it comes down to what and who they can have sex with. If she's saying that she's just offering it for free, you're going to have those guys that get in the real world and want to get a real relationship and understand that's not how it's going to be set up. So it is damaging at the same time.
want to start crying and making TikToks and making false allegations, I'll slap you in the face with the facts. The facts are 32% is decreased because of sex workers.
Women can't change the world, Rob. Let's look at this. Let's take this away from Bonnie for a second.
but haven't
Look
you
at it
said
in a
that
metaphor.
feminism's just like taken over?
Feminism was given to women by men. Men are the only ones who can project force, Rob. Feminism is a male movement. Do you think if women march around in the street outside, anybody gives a fuck? The only reason they get away with it is because men stand around them with guns.
That is
Men
true.
enforce feminism.
Yeah.
Men project force. If women really wanted to fight the patriarchy, and they don't, trust me, the reason they say they want to fight the patriarchy is because the patriarchy doesn't fight back. If it became a real fight, patriarchy versus women, it would last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And when the riot horses start storming in with the batons, women would very quickly get back in the kitchen.
That is
So there's
true.
no such thing as female power. It's given to them by men. And it's given to them by subsects of men who are actually trying to damage masculinity. It's very interesting. Imagine it this way.
Damn, that's real though.
Every single
That's
man
it.
out there is, and every single man out there has a past. So every single man out there can have all of his exes contacted and find the Jezebels who want money and can be attacked. So why does it only happen to some men? Well, women are the conduit for attack, and the different groups of men decide to use women as a conduit to attack their enemies. Feminism is a group of men using women against other men. That's
That
all
is
it is.
true.
Women are the tools. And
We always say that it's always a simp behind the scenes. When a woman's behavior gets reinforced, it always comes from a guy behind the scenes. It's never just women being able to pull all this power together and say, we about to take over the world. No, it's guys helping push that. Just like how you have guys that stop the bad guys in society, it's the exact same way. This happens time and time again. Even in the happy wife, happy life culture, men get behind women. They don't ask any questions. They want to make the women happy. So what do? They go along. It's almost like the go along, get along game.
Women are the symptoms. Women can't change society. Bonnie can't change anything. She's a symptom of the society she grew up in.
She
Because
thinks she thinks she can change men's mental health.
No, she's
What
saying
she
she
just
can
said.
help with men's mental health, but she can't change society. Women, by and large, can't do anything. Women can march all day, every day. Nobody gives a
I saw women marching there now. I'd look and think, oh, fucking hell, what have they done? Chipped a nail? If I saw a men
That's
marching,
called a
I'd think,
revolution.
God, something's going wrong. Something's happening.
Because men
I
can
should
be violent.
concerned.
So she is a symptom of society. And what I'm saying is, unless you're prepared to stand up and say the entire society needs rewiring, women shouldn't be allowed to vote anymore. Women should not be having sex outside of wedlock. Unless you're going to start saying all of these things, you shouldn't have an opinion on Bonnie. Your opinion on Bonnie should be, she is the end result of the society we have built and promoted. She is acting how society has told her to act to get as far ahead as possible. She is being extremely successful financially. She's notorious. She's sitting with one of the most famous men on the fucking planet. She's done a fantastic job for herself, built on the parameters that we've given her to live within. Here's the rules of the game. She's played the game the best. If you're unhappy with what she's doing, change the rules of the game. But when men sit here and go, no, women should vote, and yeah, I listen to my wife, and I listen to her opinions, and me and my wife are best friends, and I love what women think, but Bonnie shouldn't do that. That's hypocritical and stupid.
That's
dumb.
That's true. That is true.
All women, to some degree, are sex working. And the reason I respect what Bonnie's doing is because Bonnie's making her own money with her own brains and being very honest and open about what she's doing. I respect what Bonnie's doing far more than the girls who have attacked me for rape charges, who got with me, asked for money, I said no, and then tried to put me in jail for it. That's sex work, but it's just criminal. It's just disingenuous. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the woman who goes out there and gets married to a man she barely loves and divorces him 2 years later and takes half of his estate. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the women who are out in Dubai dating 5 or 6, 7 different men, just getting handbags and rent and all of this stuff and pretending to be an angel and putting boss chick working real estate on her fucking Instagram. All these women are doing the same shit, but Bonnie's open about it. Bonnie's honest about it. If you want to be with Bonnie, and Bonnie, you were married, I believe, or you had a boyfriend.
I'm still going through a divorce.
Okay, yeah. If you want to be with Bonnie, you know what you're getting. That's your decision. That's your prerogative. That's honest. That's great. Most of these men out here are married to women just the same as Bonnie. They don't even fucking know it. And if you told them, they'd deny it. If I open my Instagram now and see one of my exes getting married, and I message her husband right now on Instagram saying, she's a hoe, XYZ, he'll defend her. No, she ain't. You're a rapist. A fucking retard. So most of these women out here are the same shit anyway.
That is true.
I absolutely love people. You know what I love?
You do have a large group of women who are moving the exact same way as Bonnie, just not as extreme, but you got a lot of hypocrites out here. That's almost like the pot calling the kettle black. You know, you have a lot of women out here sleeping around, messing around, trying to act like they holier than thou. They really not. You got Bonnie out here who's definitely open with being a hoe. She's not helping society out, I'm just gonna be honest, but she's playing the game to what society has given them. They've given them the blueprint that, hey, you can be promiscuous. You can be advanced as you want sexually. There's no repercussions to your actions. Go as far as you want, going down the dark road of sexuality. And then this is the repercussions of it. But, God forbid you have millions and billions of Bonnies running around. It would be a very, very rough society. But at the same time, she's going to be who she's going to be. The best thing you can do is not get with a woman who is going to move and act like that. I think that's exactly what Andrew Tate is trying to preach, is the fact that you don't want to get involved with a chick who is going to put you in those situations, but you can't erase the chick that's in those situations. This world is based on duality. You're going to have good and evil. You're going to have hot and cold. You're going to have light and dark. It's a yin and a yang. So there can't be one without the other. So since we already understand that part now, the best thing you can do is surround and put yourself in places that are going to be best beneficial for you and the life you want to live. Everybody not going to want sunshine and rainbow. Somebody going to want darkness. But the key is, what he said in the beginning of this video is to say that, Bonnie, don't double back on all the decisions that you are doing now to sit later on and say that I want to be a better woman. I need God. All the things I did, I was wrong. No, you got to die by that sword. Live and die by it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to die on that hill. You don't make it this far. And that's where a lot of women in society today, they're trying to backtrack on the fact that they have made a lot of bad decisions in the past, 20s and 30s. They played around. They was on the cop carousel. Now you want to get off. You want to find a good man. You regret all the decisions that you made because once you start hitting that wall, and it happens for guys too. We usually are used to fighting, so we just trying to keep fighting through it. But usually when you hit that wall, you're gonna get more tired, you're gonna have less energy. You probably physically working out is gonna be more difficult. Of course, when it comes down to money, it's gonna be harder to procure more money if you don't have like probably a good career. You better hope that you did go to school or did get a decent career, because if you don't have a money factor as well, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you. And you get to that older age and you like, damn, I don't have all the gifts that I had when I was in my 20s that were just naturally flowing. You're aging now, and everything is dropping down drastically, possibly your estrogen, other biometric markers in your body that would keep you more youthful. It ain't happening as easy no more. And now you sit back and you look back and that's when the regret sinks in. So Andrew is basically saying, don't be like all the rest of the women out here regretting the decision they made. No, you die by that sword. I think it's a good message. Like I said, a lot of people are probably not going to agree with Andrew Tate saying that he respects Bonnie for how she moved, but I understand the premise where he's coming from. If you really look deep enough into it, I understand where he's coming from, because what he's trying to say is that I respect the woman who's going to be honest up front instead of the one who's going to lie on me or on men behind the scenes. The ones who will lie behind the scenes, they're dangerous. The ones that will present themselves to be the good girls, those women are egregious. You want to avoid those women by all costs, because them the ones that's going to Me Too you. They're going to set you up. He touched me the wrong way. I felt uncomfortable. It's going to be those chicks. Y'all make sure y'all watch this video in its entirety. I'll have it linked in the description. Make sure you like this video, comment below. This is JayBReacts, y'all. Until next time, peace.